Okay, then I can see you all now. Good evening, guys. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Abhay, Pridarshini, Mihir, Rahul, Aniket, Tarun, Sainava, Vaibhav. Good evening, guys. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the day 2 of this 3-day JavaScript Essential course. Good evening, guys. Good evening, everyone. How are you all? All good, everyone? Good evening, guys. Okay, so as you remember last time, that is yesterday, we learned about what exactly is JavaScript, how it works, what is DOM manipulation, and we also saw how to change textual content, and we also saw how to change style of something, right? So this is what we have learned so far. Now today we are going to be moving ahead and we'll talk about something called as events. We'll talk about how to handle events, we'll talk about functions and much more. So I hope you guys are excited as well. Everyone, are we excited for today's session, guys? Are we excited for today's session? Because today we have a lot of things to do. So, first of all, now we know how to manipulate textual content, we know how to manipulate styling. Today, we'll see how to manipulate attributes, and we'll also talk about how to handle events and how to work with that. And I'll also show you how to read input fields value. And we'll also try to make something out of it. So, I hope you guys are ready and I hope you guys are excited. Okay, guys. So, then, without any more time, let's start, right? See, this is what we learned yesterday. And see, while performing DOM manipulation, we made out few rules, right? The first rule is to select the element. And to select the element, we have learned what? Document.querySelector. Today, I'll show you one more way of selecting elements. Okay. So till now, we know that document.querySelector will always help us to select the element. And after selecting the element, if I want to change the textual content, I can use inner text. If I want to change any CSS property of an element, I can simply use dot style dot any property that I want. It can be anything. It can be font size. It can be anything. Guys, I hope you guys are understanding. Okay, then let's move ahead and let's talk about some more things today. So first of all, let's run this page. So let me just take a browser window for you. And here we go. Cool. Okay, so this was what we made yesterday, a very simple page in which I have few elements, and we were changing the CSS and the content of all this. But see, guys, right now what's happening is, right now whatever I'm doing, it's happening by default, right? And that's normal because whatever you're writing inside the script tag will always work when the page loads, right? So basically, see, I have few elements, I have put some content in them. I have also applied some CSS. But at the same time, my JavaScript is also loading when my page loads. And then it is also changing the CSS. For example, this is what one div I have, right? With a class of one. Initially, I have given it a red color. You can see that, right? But as soon as my JS loads, I change its color to something like black. And that's why I cannot see that red, because my JS code is also running on my page load. So when my page loads, the elements become red, but also the element becomes black at the same time. So that's an issue, and I don't want that. So basically, what I want today is I want to learn how to perform all these operations on something called as click. Like if I click a button, then only this should happen. How to do all that stuff. And for that, guys, we need to learn something called as event handling. Screen is not clear, Komal. I think it is cleared. What you can do is just maybe improve the YouTube video quality. So you can do that, because I'm also watching it on YouTube, so it's completely clear. So for all the people, if something like this is happening, like screen is not cleared, you guys can go ahead and just improve the video quality in YouTube, because sometimes it happens, right, because of the internet connection. Komal, so guys, I hope you guys have understood, right, what we are planning to do today. So then let's move ahead, because whatever you write normally will always execute by default, will always execute on the page load. And I don't want that. I don't want my JS code to execute on page load. I want to execute when I want it, when I click on a button or when I click somewhere. And for that, guys, we have to learn a concept called as event handling. We need to learn one of the most important concepts of interaction, that is event handling. Okay. So guys, first of all, what exactly is event handling, or what exactly is an event? Okay, so now understand, the interactions that you perform on a web page or in any application, that is what you call as an event. the interactions. When I say interactions, that means sometimes when you move your mouse, or when you click somewhere, or when you double click, or when you type something with the keyboard, anything that a user does on an app or on a web page, that is what an interaction is, right guys? For example, let's go to one famous site that we always open, flipkart.com. Now see, I click here, something is happening, but don't worry about that. When I click here, I am interacting with the site. When I move my mouse on something, see, this is what you call as interaction. When you interact with the web page using your mouse, that is what you call as interaction. Sometimes you also interact with the web page using your keyboard. See, now I'm typing something. This is also interaction. So any kind of interaction that you do with a web page is called as an event, can be considered as an event. Understandable, guys? Everyone? That is what an event is. Any kind of interaction that you perform with the app or the web page can be considered as an event. Okay, first thing, that is what an event is. So for example, if I go ahead and click somewhere, I'm performing an event. If I double click somewhere, I'm performing an event. If I hover somewhere, if I move mouse on this, on this, on this, I'm performing an event. Okay, now I need to do event handling. Now what does the event handling means? That means when a user performs a confirm it. Yep, now that's fine. So guys, that is what you call as event handling, and that is what we have to learn. For example, again, when I click here, see, click, the image moves. See that? So I'm performing an event, I'm clicking, I'm performing interaction, and based on that, something is happening. So that is what you call as event handling. I hope you guys understood. Sir, it can be done via hover tag. No, yes, some things you can handle by CSS, but for example, you cannot handle this, right? We cannot handle this click using CSS. So that is one thing. So hover is also event, but yeah, hover, CSS provides some value, some basic functionalities for hover, but you cannot do everything. For example, double click, drag, click, move, all of that stuff not possible with CSS, right? A little hover, color change, all that stuff is possible. Okay, guys. So then let's move ahead and let's see how to do it. So first of all, what you have to do is you need to understand. Okay, so now let's say I want this code. Okay, this code which is basically changing the color of my block. So see, by default the color of my block is red, but if this code works, my color of my block becomes black. That means this line of code is making the color of my block black, but I don't want this to happen on the page load. That means I cannot write it here. So what I'm going to do is I am going to create a function, right? So let's call it change color. I'll get a function and I'll put this code inside the function. What is a function, guys? A function is nothing but a block of code with some name which doesn't execute by default. That means if I create a function and put a code inside it, now this function will not execute by default. See, nothing is happening. It's still red. That means now this code is not getting executed. Why? Because it is inside the function. And now until and unless I call this function, this code will never execute. That's the best thing. A function never executes by itself. You need to call it, then only it will execute. Right, everyone? So that's why I put my code inside a function. That means now it will not work. See, it is red now. Now then, let's call this function. So for example, let's go ahead and let's create a button here. Let me create a button. Okay, so button, change color. And what I want to do is, when I click on this button, then I want this block to become red. So basically, see, this function is having a line of code which can make this block black. So what I need to do is I need to tell this function that you should get called when someone clicks on this button. You should get called, you should execute yourself, you should execute your code when someone clicks on this button. So now how to do that? It's very simple. So what you'll do is you'll go on the button and you will use an event handling attribute called as on click. On click. That means when someone clicks on this button, what do you want to do? So what I want to do is I want to call this function which is having a name change color. That's all. That's it. That's all, guys. See now, let's see. Let's click on this button and here we go. Can you see that, everyone? So by default, no black. Only when I click on this button, it becomes black. Because see what is happening. I've created the button and I've told the button when I click on you. So on click, call this function change color. And when the change color function is called, this line of code executes and my block becomes black. Is it clear, everyone? So that's how I handle the event. That's how I'm handling the click of this button. Is that clear, everyone? Guys, understood the basic concept of event handling? Everyone. So the click of the button. So basically, see, you are clicking on the button. That is what an event is. You're interacting with the button. That is what an event is. Okay. That button is your event handler because you're performing the event on that. Right. And this function gets invoked when you click on the button. So this function in this case has become the event listener. Is that clear, everyone? This function here becomes the event listener because when you perform the event on the button, right, the button calls this function. That's why this becomes event listener. That means, okay, fine, I'm waiting. When someone clicks on you, I'll get called. So I'll listen. When someone clicks on you, I'll listen and I'll get called. So this becomes the event listener. So that's how event handling works, guys. Very simple, very easy. Okay, I hope everyone is cleared. So now you can put your code in functions and call them whenever you want. Yes, event listener, Naveen. This function here can be considered as an event listener. Event listener means something which is invoked when event is performed. So basically, you have mentioned, right? When I click on the button, that means when I perform the click event on the button, I need this function to be invoked. So this function is going to be my event listener because it's going to be invoked when I click on the button. Can I write on click in script tag? And yes, it's possible, Jitesh, but why? The question is why? Because script tag is not creating any component for you. So where will you perform the event? You need a component, right? If you want to click somewhere or perform an event, you need a component. Are you understanding? Script tag is not making anything for you. Yes, on click is event handling attribute. Yes, Ishwar, exactly. Sir, can you show one example by changing the image? Yes, I'm going to do that. Don't worry. But first of all, is the basic logic cleared, guys? Now, can I remove all this code because I have already shared this whole file with you? So I think I can remove all this code, right? Because it's making it messier. So let's remove all this code. Okay, let's only keep a simple clean function, right? Very easy, very clean. I hope it is understood. Now you can also do this. Let's say, for example, I create one more button on top of this paragraph. See, right now I'm dealing with buttons, but I can do anything in this case. But yeah, for now, let's keep it like this. So let's call it change text. See, right. So I have this text, I am paragraph, and I have this button. What I want is when I click on this change text, I want the text of this paragraph to be changed. So again, let's create a function. Function, let's call it change text. Guys, you can name it anything, it's totally fine. Change text and then write the code. See, guys, understand about what do you want to do. Now, tell me, guys, what I want this function to do. I want this function to change the content of this p tag. So first of all, tell me, everyone, if I want to change the content of this p tag, what is the first rule? If I want to manipulate the content of an element, what is the first rule of DOM manipulation, guys? What do I have to do? Everyone, what do I have to do now? Come on, guys. I need to select that element, right? So the first thing is I need to select the element. So let's go and document dot get. Sorry, in this case, I want to use query selector. So query selector, exactly. So select that element. And then what I need to do, is it one or something else? No, it is para. So sorry. So let's give it proper class name, para. After that, what do I want to do? Do I want to change style? No. What I want to do is I want to change this textual content, right? So in that case, I'm going to say dot inner text equals, let's say, new text, something like that. And that's all. And now I only need to call this function on that button. So I'll again go here on this button and I'll write on click. So whenever someone clicks on you, please call this function. That's all. Now then, let's see. See now, guys, by default, it's am paragraph. When I just go here and click, see, it becomes new text. Very simple. That's great. You guys are answering it. Amazing. Amazing. So see how simple it is actually. Very, very simple. Okay, guys. So let me just mention all the rules again here. I'll mention it here, guys, at the end so that there is no disturbance in the page. Okay. I'll mention it here. It will not harm us, don't worry, but you don't ever do it here. I'm just doing it right now just to like keep the documentation. That's all. So I'm going to say first rule is what? Select the element by any way. Second is if you want to change text, if you want to change text, use inner text. If you want to change style or CSS, change CSS, use dot style dot any property. When I'm mentioning any property, that means it can be background color, it can be anything. Now, the third thing that is very important is we're also going to learn how to change the attributes. So how can we go back to the default value by clicking the button again? For that, we need to create a switch logic. Okay, very easy. It's very easy. It's not tough at all. It is very, very easy. Wait, I'll show you how to do that, Rishi, by using the image logic. Okay. See, Ishwar, query selector is selecting the element for you. It is not dealing with the text. It is selecting the element. See, when I wanted to change color at that time also I used query selector. That this logic, this line of code is only for selecting the element. Right now you're not sure. Do I want to work with text or style? First, my aim is selecting the element. Yes, I'm numbering on notes. I'm just mentioning. First thing is select the element. If you want to change text, use inner text. If you want to change CSS, use dot style dot any property. That means it can be background color, it can be font size, it can be color, whatever you want. Now, guys, we are going to focus on if you want to change attribute. Now, before that, guys, do you know what is an attribute? Everyone? Do you guys know what is an attribute? Let me remove all this extra stuff that we don't need. Let's keep only that we need, the things that we need, okay? Like this much. Okay. So everyone, do we know what is an attribute? Guys, you might know it, right? When you simply, I'll tell you, don't worry, Ankush, I'll tell you, don't worry, buddy. Wait, let's go step by step, guys. Let's go step by step. Okay. So you might have heard of this image tag, right, everyone? You know, right? In tags, you can create attributes. This SRC is an attribute. Basically, attribute is nothing but a property of a tag, like input type, placeholder. If you have ever learned HTML, you might know this, right? These are what you call as attribute. This height. So properties of tags are called as attributes. Exactly, it provides additional features to the tag, right, everyone? So let's go and let's give something to this SRC. So let's give it an image. So let's search for like some image like Thor, and let's give it an image. So let's take this one and let's copy the image address and put it here. You can also download the image, but I'm not doing it right now. Here we go. Cool. See that, guys? Everyone? Can you see this? Right? So I have an image tag and this SRC is an attribute, right, everyone? Now, let's create a button. Let's call it change image. Yes, exactly, Amarjit. Now what I want is, okay, let me just correct the spelling mistake here. So change image. Now what I want is, if someone clicks on this change image, I want to change this image. If someone clicks on this change image, I want to change this image. Now guys, you tell me, first of all, this image is coming because of what? This image is coming because of the SRC attribute, right? Because of the SRC attribute of the value, right, everyone? Because of the value of the SR, sorry, I fumbled there, because of the value of the SRC attribute. That means if in any case I was able to change the value of this SRC attribute, image will change. That's the whole logic. So let's do that. So let's also give this image a class so that I can select this element. Let's call it image. Let's create a function again, guys. Function, let's call it change image. Okay. And now select that element first. First logic again, select the element. So document dot query selector, and then dot image. That is the class name, right? So once the first logic is done, I have selected the element. Now what do you want to do? Do you want to change text? No, that means no use of inner text. Do you want to change style? No, that means there is no use of dot style. What do you want to do? I want to change the attribute, this src attribute. So for that, guys, there are two ways actually. So first of all, I'll show you one way. That is, you can use this method called as set attribute. You can use something called as set attribute, inside which you can pass which attribute do you want to change. I want to change the src attribute. What is the value that you want to pass? I want to pass some new value. So let's say I pass this image in that case, right? Okay, it's very big. Let's pass a smaller image. Everything is so big now. Which should we take? Okay, let's first say, guys, let's do this thing. Let's keep by default this one so that they are of same size. That's all. Doesn't matter, but just to keep sizing. And then let's change it to this. Basically, I want to change the src's value to this. That's it. So basically, document dot query selector, first select the element, then dot set attribute, first pass which attribute do you want to change, comma, pass what do you want to change it with. So I want to change the src attributes value to this. Initially it is this, I wanted to change to this. And now then, let's call this function on this button. On click, change image, and that's all. Let's see, guys. Okay, too big. Here we go. Big image, right, everyone? Let's give it a height and width. Let's give it a height and width. So width of 400 pixel. It's too big, right? Okay, now that's fine, right, everyone? Cool. So see, this is my image and this is the button. Let's click and let's see if it is changing. Here we go. Can you see that, guys? Everyone, are we cleared? All cleared, guys? So we are doing nothing. We simply changed src. See, I'll show you it live. See this, the image tag here. See this. Focus on this element here, guys. Focus on this element here. Focus on this image element. When I click on this button, what happens to the image element? See, click. See that? The value updated. The src value got updated here. That's what we are doing. We are doing nothing, guys. Whatever we are doing till now is simply manipulating the HTML elements. That's all. Either we are manipulating the CSS or the content or the attribute. Nothing big. Very simple. The main aim is what, guys? First, select the element. After that, do whatever you want. The main mantra is you should know how to select the element. That's very, very important. Okay, so yep, here we go. So now you know how to change the source, how to change the text, how to change the CSS. Whatever you want, you can do now. Okay, for example, someone asked, right, sir, what if I again want to click on that button and I want to get my image back, right? You want that, right, everyone? Should I build that, guys? If I click on it again, I want my old image back. Do you want to see how to do that, guys? Because right now it's on, nothing will happen. See, nothing will happen. Once I click, it changes this to this one. Again, if I click, it will still call the same function, right? It will still call the same function. Again, if I click, it will still call the same function. It will again change it to the same image. So now let's see, if I want to click twice and I want to get the old image back, how to do that? Let's do it. Very simple, guys. It's very, very simple. So what we have to do is we need to create a variable. Very simple variable to track what's happening. So let's create a variable called as let's call it img equals 1. Okay, simple variable called as img equals 1. Now I'll do it here. I'll tell this function before updating the attribute, check this. If img is equal to 1, then only change it to this image. If img is equal to 1, then only change it to this image. And also change the img value to 2, like that. Now there are multiple ways, guys, but this is one way that I'm doing. Simple. See. So by default, triple equal to Okay, I'll explain you guys that. Don't worry. You guys have never seen triple equal to. I'll tell you what triple equal to does. In JavaScript, you should always use triple equal to. I'll tell you why. Don't worry, guys. Wait for 5 minutes. Let's complete this first. Okay. See, guys. So I have created a variable called as img in which I put 1 as an initial value. I tell my function before updating the image source, check if img value is 1, then only update and make img value 2. And then I'm going to put an else and again change it to the normal image. Don't worry, let me write it first and then I'll explain you the whole code. It's so simple. Let's go and let's take the old image, that is this one, which is default here, default src, and then make img equals to 1 again. Now see, guys, what I'm doing here is, see, very simple. So by default the value of my img variable is 1. Okay, now think, I click on the button. Let's read the code, guys. Let's read it together. I click on the button. This function is called. This function checks if img is 1. Yes, img is 1. You can change by using event handlers. Yes, yes, yes. But for now, let's keep it very simple, right? Because we want to click the same button, right? Yes, we want to click on the exact same button. We don't want any other event here. Okay, guys. So now see, initially img is 1. Fine. Now when I click on the button, change image is called and it checks. Check if img is 1. Yes, img is 1. Fine then. Change the image and make img equals to 2. Cool. So it changes the image and makes img 2. Now next time if I click it again, is img 1 or 2, guys? Is img 1 or 2? Now img is 2, right? Because last time it changed. So now it will again call the function and it will again check. Check if img is 1. No, it's not 1. So now it will go in else and change it to the different image and then make it 1 again. Now next time img will be 1. Again next time 2. Again next time 1. Again next time 2. And that's how the image will keep changing. And now let's see. First click, change to this. One more click, change to this. First click, change to this. One more click. Now it will go on forever because it's just going 1 2 1 2 1 2, and depending on that 1 and 2 1 and 2 I'm putting different images. That's it. Understood, guys? That's the base logic of how we can do it. So I simply create a variable called as img, put it as an initial value as 1. First time it will check, right? It is 1, change this image and make it 2. Next time it is not 1, so it will go in else. Change the image and make it 1. Next time it is 1, so again change the image and make it 2. Next time it is not 1, again change the image and make it 1. So I'm just continuously making it 1 2 1 2 1 2. If I want to change my image 4 times, then Ankush is a different matter. Then it will be a different thing. If you want one image, then one more image, then one more image, then we have to create an array like structure in that case. Then we need to create an array and we need to change indexes. That's also very simple. It's not tough. So what if src path is incorrect? Then it will show that cut symbol, right? Simple. What happens when you put a wrong image path? It doesn't show the image, right? You have that green small cut symbol, right? Know that? Yes, Priyanshu, I'll tell you. Don't worry. So that is what we'll get. Now, guys, yes, a lot of people are asking about triple equal to. So let me tell you. See, JavaScript is a loosely typed language. JavaScript is a loosely typed language. So basically what happens is, see, in every other language, double equal to is the highest equality check. That means it checks everything, right? And in every other language, you cannot compare an integer with a string. In every other language like C and C++, you cannot compare integer with a string. That means if you try to do this, see, I put double quotes 1 and a number 1. In every other language, this will be false because you're comparing a string with a number, right? That first one is looking like 1, but it's not a 1. It's a string. It's a character. It is not a numeric one. So every other language would make it false. But since JavaScript is a loosely typed language, for JavaScript, a string 1 and a numeric 1 are same. And that's why JavaScript will give it true. Understandable, guys? But I'll show you that. Let's go here. See, if I make it 1 equal to 1. See that, guys? It gives me true. That's the issue, because in JavaScript, double equal to only checks if they both look same. I don't care what is the type of the data, if one is number or one is string. JS only check if they look same. That is the issue, and that's why we have something called as triple equal to. That works perfectly fine. That's why you should also start avoiding double equal to in JS and start using triple equal to for a better check, because something might this happen and you'll still get through and your code will have bugs. So always start using triple equal to from now on in JS. Okay, guys. So that's it. That's the difference between double equal to and triple equal to. Every other language doesn't do this. Only JS is loosely typed, so it doesn't check for types in this. That's why triple equal to. Okay, cool. That's it, guys. Saurabh, is there a way to do it dynamically? Image change? Yes, I can put it in an array and then I can create a button change image and I can just go on forward. One image, two image, three image, four image, like that. It's totally fine. Is any library for JS to show random image from Google? You can create it actually, but there are APIs actually, not from Google. There are APIs available online that will give you random images. You can use those. Okay. So everyone, are we clear with this? Please tell me. Okay, let me ask you, do you want to see continuous change of images? Do you want to see how to do that, everyone? Yes, Richard, exactly. Alternate text shows whenever src is wrong. Exactly. That's why you should always never forget to put alt in your image tag. It's a mandate. It's a good practice. So something like this, just put some text like this. Okay, everyone, so basically I was asking, yes, Naveen, you can always, that's why console is so important, right? You can do a lot of stuff here. Doesn't PHP use both? Yes, 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 CTSO. PHP also provides you triple equal to, because it is also a loosely typed language, right? You don't have types there. That's why PHP also provides that triple equal to. Any copyright issue on random images? I think if there is a free API which is providing random images, so there will be no copyright. Yes, if you use it for Google, if you use it directly from Google, and if now see, right now I'm using it for educational purpose, so basically I'm going to be closing it after some time. But if you use it for official sites, then you should always buy it, or it should be perfectly free. It should be royalty free. Otherwise, there will be copyright. I think APIs don't provide copyright. Like, if it is a API, if it is a free API, that means their aim is to provide you free images. So yeah, there will be no copyright in that case. So everyone, do you want to see that logic? If I click on next, 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 my image should change. Everyone, do you want to see that? Should I make that here right now? You tell me. If you say yes, I'll make it right now. So for that, we'll create a new project, actually, new file. Come on, quickly tell me. Do you want me to do that right now? Loop through the array? No, we don't have to loop CTSO. No, 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 no. We don't have to loop. We just have to change indexes. That's all. Should we make it, guys? Do you want that? Are you excited for that? Let's do it. So let's call it something called as slider. Slider.html. Now it will not be animated slider, but anyway, it will still change. So don't worry. Let's do it, guys. So let's go. Let's create a HTML again. Okay. And why I'm writing the whole thing. Let's go. Let's remove the meta tags. We don't need them. And for in this case, guys, I'm going to download some images. Okay. And let's put our script here as well. Script in which I'm going to write my JavaScript. And let's run this page quickly. Copy the path, paste it here. Let's create a very simple structure of the image. img src, and let's download few images. So let me create a folder of images, guys. Let me create a new folder called as images, in which I'm going to store my all my images. So please do some projects. Yes, yes, definitely, Rojashri. Yes, we're going to do that. Okay. So now, guys, let's download few images. So let's go to a site like Pexels, where we can get free images of any size. Okay, so let's search for flowers, or let's say nature, or landscapes. Any image that you want, guys. It's totally up to you. Any image that you want. Let's go here, and yep, let's start downloading it. So let me just say, yep, this one. I want my own size, so I don't want to mention this big size here. So I want to mention custom size, or you can actually have it this one, download. Okay, it is getting download in my folder. So let's remove it from there and put it in our folder. So cut it from here. It's on desktop, right? Yes, here we go. Let's put it here. And let's name it image1. Okay, let's quickly download 4 to 5 images, guys, like that. Let's quickly download 4 to 5 images like this. Again, free download. This one, download. Cut it. Desktop in here. See, guys, by any way, just try to get some images in this folder. That's all. I hope we can do that. Right, everyone? Image 2. And let's take one more. Let's say this one. Yeah, looks really good, right? This one. Okay, 3 images are enough. That's all. You can have as many as you want. I'll show you how to do that. You can have as many as you want. Desktop, ESS, images, paste it. And let me name it image 3. That's all. Which OS? I'm using Windows 11. Jitesh, it is Windows 11. Okay, guys, so done. And now then, let's get a basic structure. So image, by default, I'm going to be putting / images folder image1.jpg. I'm also going to give it a class of image. And let's give it some height and width. So dot image. Okay, first of all, don't forget to put your style. Then dot image. I hope you guys are familiar with CSS, so I don't have to explain you a lot of it. So width of 400 pixel, and that should be enough. Let's see. Here we go. Very less, right? Let's make it a little bigger. So image of 600 pixel, and that should be enough. Okay, guys, cool, simple, not bad. Let's also create 2 buttons. See, guys, right now I'm not focusing on design, but you guys can put complete CSS here and create a good design. Okay, I'm not focusing on design. So let me create few buttons here. Like, let me call one button previous. And let me call another button next. Right, something like this. Okay, and let's align them quickly. So for that, I'm gonna, okay, let me just close all these folders. They're very confusing now. Okay, let's go here and just give body. Display of flex, justify content of center, and align items of center. Let's see. Here we go. Is it clear, guys? Everyone see that? I'm not focusing a lot on design, guys. I hope you understand. No, we are not adding any transition. No. We cannot do that. If we start doing that, then this project will become big. You're getting the point, CTSO? If we do that, this project will become very big. Okay, that's why we'll just now change the images for now. Cleared, CTSO? I hope it is. So guys, can you see this? Everyone understandable? I have an image, I have this previous button, and I have this next button. Okay, basic JS. So let's go and perform DOM manipulation. And when I click on next, I need the next image. Guys, should we do it? Everyone. So now then, first thing I need here is an array. So let all this array is images. And let's put all our image details inside this. Okay. So first image is my image1, image1.jpg. So let's put the whole path actually. So /image1. I'm just trying to keep it easy. That's why I'm not following a lot of complicated stuff. I'm trying to keep it very simple. So image1, so yeah, /images/ image1.jpg. This is the info about the first image. Then comma /. images slash image2 dot jpg, and then third image dot slash images slash image3 dot jpg. Understood, guys? Everyone, I have an array called as images in which I have three strings. First string is the path of the first image, second string is the path of the second image, and third string is the path of the third image. Very simple, right, everyone? Okay, and since it is an array, if you want to access the first element, it is on 0th index, this element is on second index, this element is on third index. Sorry, yeah, not it is on the second index, but basically the index will be 2. It is on the 0th, it is on the first, it is on the second. It's an array, right? Okay, let me show you first. So if I want to access the first path, I have to do images of 0. So I'll get the first one. See that, guys? Dot slash images slash image1 dot jpg, the first element. If I want this one, I have to do images of 1. I'll get that. If I want this third one, I have to do images of 2. Simple, easy. Now then, let's go and let's do it, everyone. Yes, exactly, because it's an array, right? Array index starts from 0. So now first thing is I need to create a function called as next. Okay, and I'll also create one variable called as let current image, and I'll keep it 0 initially. Because see, guys, you tell me, which image are you displaying by default? The first one, right? Everyone, which image are you displaying by default? The first one, right? That's why I'm going to keep current image as 0, because you're displaying the first image by default and it's on the 0th index. So I'm going to keep my current image as 0. Now, when someone clicks on next, I'm going to do this. I'm first of all simply going to increment the value of current image. That means current image will become 1. Plus plus, right? So 0 plus plus is 1. And then simply document. Okay, let's also, okay, I've given it a class image. Document dot query selector image dot src, or sorry, dot set attribute. Change the src with this one, images of current image. That is images of 1, which is nothing but what, guys? This one. Simple. No, Arman, we are not doing it default by default. We are still learning basic DOM manipulation, right? That's why we are doing it on the buttons. That's why we are doing it on the buttons. Is it cleared? So everyone see what we are doing, guys? So I have current image, which I keep the value as 0 initially, because by default I display my 0th image, which is this one. So when someone clicks next, first of all, I'll increment my current image by 1. So it was 0 initially, it will become 1. And as soon as it becomes 1, then change the image with images of current image. That is images of 1, which is nothing but what? This image. Right? Yes, if you want, you can definitely use set interval. Totally fine. But a lot of people here don't know set interval, right? Because they're very new to JavaScript. That's why we are not doing that here. Now then, let's simply call this next function on this button. So on click, next. Let's see, guys, what's happening. Next, next. See that, everyone? Guys, next, next. But what if after that there's nothing? Because you're continuing your next, next, right, everyone? You're continuing your next, next. So nothing will come after last image. Image of 0, image of 1, image of 2. What after that? There's nothing. So you need to mention now. As soon as, so you have to mention some conditions here. That is, if current image is less than 2, then only increment it. Then only increment and change the image, or then only increment, actually, not change the image, then only increment. Otherwise, make the current image 0 again, because after the end I want to get back to 0, and then change the image. Now, guys, let's see if it is working. Let's check it out. Next, next. This is last. After this, I want the first image back. Next. Very simple, very easy. Is it cleared, guys? Now, one more thing. Instead of mentioning 2 here, like this, what you can do is you can also see this array length is 3, right? And you know that you want to mention 2 here. So just simply put array dot length, sorry, images dot length -1. So if in case in future you increase the number of images, you don't have to worry about putting it again here. That's all. Now see, it is still working. Next, 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 continuous. But now this is one more task, previous, right? Fine. For everyone who is not understanding, see again read the code. What is the default image here? The 0th image, which matches this. That's why I keep my current image value as 0. Now when someone clicks on next, first I check if current image value is less than, okay, let me mention 2 here again, guys. First of all, let's mention 2 so that you guys understand. Check if current image is less than 2. Yes, 0 is less than 2. Fine, then increment. Current image becomes 1. Now then, change it to images of 1. So it will go to this image. Then again, if someone clicks on next, again check. Yes, 1 is less than 2. Fine. Plus plus. Make it 2. Again change the images with image of 2. That is this one. When again someone clicks on next, now it will become what, guys? 2. And now again check. 2 less than 2? No. False. Current image becomes 0 again. That means again images of 0 will be this. So again I'll go back to the first image. Is it cleared, guys? Everyone? No, Chaturvedi, we are not using loop. We don't have to use loop here. If we use loop, it will happen on the spot. Everything will happen on the go. We don't have to use loop here. We want it to happen on buttons. And Kiro is asking why -1? Because see, if I need to put 2 here, right? I need to put 2 here. So if I put images.length is 3. 1, 2, 3. But I need 2 here. So if I'm getting 3, how can I get 2? -1, right? Sir, is it possible using loop? Yes, it is kind of possible, but in this case, we don't need it because we are not depending on automatic execution. We are depending on user clicks. So there is no need of loop. Understanding, Julas? So guys, let's keep it 2 for now. Let's keep it 2. Don't worry. Let's keep it 2. Exactly, Naveen. -1 to compensate for 0 index. Exactly. Now, guys, just like this, I also need to make what? A function for previous. Right, guys? Now, in previous, I simply need to do minus minus. In next, I'm incrementing, right? From 0, I'm going to 1. From 1, I'm going to 2. So in previous, guys, what do I have to do? From 2, I have to go to 1. From 1, I have to go to 0. So basically, my logic is just do minus minus. And then this. Same thing. That's all. Let's see, first of all, if it is working. Then we'll put the condition after this. Don't worry. How to slide? For that, we need to add a little animation on it. But that will become tricky for you guys to understand right now. Don't worry, we'll do it someday. Don't worry. Guys, let's see now if it is working. Let's see how much it is working. So first of all, next, previous, previous. Amazing. But again, this is the last image, right? This is the first image. So if I click on previous again, there's nothing. So same again, I need to check that for condition. So only if current image is greater than 0, then only perform this minus minus. Otherwise, make current image equals to 2. That is the last image, right? Because after the, see, if you're at second image, you come to first, you come to 0th. So after that, where do you want to go? Again to the last image, right? So that's what you have to do. See, guys, focus here. This is 0th image. This is 1 image. This is 2 image. If I do next, I go from 0 to 1. If I do next again, I go from 1 to 2. After this, where I need to go, guys? Yes, Sai Teja, now understand. After 2, where I can go? Do I have anything else? No. So after 2, I need to get back to 0 again. That's why we have this. If current image goes greater than 2 or equal to 2, I need to get back to 0. Now come reverse. From 2, you go to 1. From 1, you go to 0. Now, is there anything before 0? No, that means you again need to go back to this image, which is what? 2. That's why I check. If it is greater than 0, fine. If it becomes less than or equal to 0, make it 2 again, please. Is it cleared? Let's see, guys. Previous, and here we go. Previous, 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 next, 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 previous, previous, previous. See? So now you at least have the base logic of how these carousels work, sliders. Now we just need to add some animations, but that is the tricky part. That is a movement part. That we'll definitely learn on someday. Don't worry about that. So guys, are we cleared? Understood? See, we made it on the spot. You guys told me that we need to make it, and here we go. We made it. We made something out of what we have learned. We have learned only basic things, but still we made a lot of a really cool thing here. So guys, are we cleared, everyone? There are multiple images instead of 3. That's why we mentioned length there. See, that's where you need to put, remove the 2 and put images dot length minus 1. And here instead of 2 again, put images dot length, because that 2 is nothing but the last index, right? So how will you get the last index? By putting length minus 1, right? That's all. Now you can put n number of images. It's totally up to you. Put as many images you want. Put 10 images, 20 images, 30 images. It will work. It will definitely work. That's why first I mentioned 2 so that you guys can understand. Now why I'm mentioning 2? Because the last index of the array is 2. If I mention it dynamically like this, images dot length minus 1, then it is sorted. Now I can put 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 images. It's totally up to me. So everyone, are we clear with this basic assignment, guys? See, we learned image changing and we made so cool thing. Sir, please explain about attributes of color. Attributes of color. Which attributes of color? I'm not understanding exactly. Can you explain me the question, Sai Teja? What is attributes of color? Sai? Is there any condition is same for whole images? Yes, this condition will work for everything. Because I'm not depending on the image now. I'm depending on my array. Exactly. And that array is getting changed. The value of the array is getting changed because of this current image variable. How is the position of the next and previous image arranged? Because of this, see, this basic CSS. Now, see, this is not a very good design, guys. It's a very bad design. Never create the design in your assignment. Create a good design. Right now, we are not focusing on CSS. That's why we did this. But when you focus on CSS, you can add really great designs. Very good designs. Right now, it's just a very basic design. 2 buttons and image. Because we were focusing on the logic. Exactly. Sai, you have to change the color attribute of CSS. Simple. Select the element, dot style, dot color. That's all. Dot style, dot color. Very simple. Vamshi, I have used this logic. See, display flex, justify content center, align item center. So everything is perfectly centered. Is that cleared? Okay. So yep, guys, that's it. Now let me ask one question. Tomorrow I'm planning to make a project. First, I'll teach you how to read input field values because that is very important. So what do you guys want to make as a project? You guys tell me. Something small because we have only 1 hour. Don't think of very big, guys. Something small. Sir, what if we want to add 20 images? We have till all the path. Yes, yes, you have to put all the path, Rahul. Exactly, buddy. Yes, that is one hard work that we have to do, guys. If you want 20 images, you have to put 20 images in here. It's totally fine. You have to do it. There's no other option. You have to put 20 images here. So, guys, everyone, come on, tell me. What do you want to build tomorrow? Tomorrow, I would like to build something based on what we have learned. We cannot build Instagram clone. It will require around 20 days with a lot of technologies, not basic JS. Theme toggler, dark or light? It's a good idea, guys. Everyone, theme toggler, light mode, dark mode, guys. Yes, Akshay, it's totally fine. Instead of button tag, you can use input type button. But I think input type button is deprecated. In HTML5, we should start using button. Sarthak, Devender, we cannot make Instagram clone. It requires a lot of things. It requires backend, database, and a lot of stuff. So we cannot make that. Yes, Smokey, I teach web development in LetsUpgrade. So guys, yes, this is again we are just scratching the surface and learning basics. If you want to learn everything, and yes, if you really want to make Instagram clone with me, Netflix clone with me, you guys should go ahead and join our courses. Just go on letsupgrade.in, check out our full stack web development courses where I'll teach you full stack web development with 15 plus projects like Instagram clone, Netflix clone, and all that stuff. So, guys, are we fine with theme toggler, everyone? Guys, theme toggler, do you want to learn how to make that light mode, dark mode logic in a good website? Everyone, let me see all of your answers. Theme toggler, is it fine? Anything that need API importing. See why I'm not focusing on API, because if I use API, then I need to teach you asynchronous JavaScript as well. And that is not a one-day task. It requires more time than that. Okay, guys, so let's do this, everyone. Let's create a project where we will give user the option of changing the font size as well as toggling the theme. Ready, guys? Can we make this? I saw someone mentioning that font size logic. So we'll create a site, we'll create a web page, a good looking web page, not a very bad looking, a good looking web page, where we'll toggle the theme from dark to light mode and light to dark mode. And also we will give an option to the user for changing the font size. Okay, guys, done. Finalize the project, everyone. But I want all of this 260 people to join there. I hope you guys will be there, everyone. I hope you guys will be there. I really hope. And I really hope that you guys enjoyed today's session as well. Okay. So, yes, guys, that's it for today. We have done a lot of things. And now I'll see you again tomorrow exactly at 6:30, where we'll make a theme toggler. Okay, everyone. Sir, any idea on how to learn whole JS? There are a lot of ways. First way is you can join our courses where I'm going to be teaching you the whole JS, everything about it. Second is, again, there are a lot of online resources. You can search for YouTube videos. There are a lot of creators who teach a lot of JavaScript. You can also refer a lot of sites like tutorials point and all that. We can learn JS as well. But in there, you have to do a lot of practice because they only have documentations, right? Okay, guys. So that's it, everyone. Now these files and folders will be shared to you. See, there's a community link in the chat. Please go ahead, join LetsUpgrade.in, sign up there, join the community because this whole file will be shared there. Okay. So that's it, guys. I'll see all of you tomorrow at 6:30. Thank you so much, everyone. I really hope that you guys enjoyed the session. Please let me know in the chat if you guys enjoyed or not, and I'll see all of you tomorrow. Thank you so much, guys. Bye bye, everyone. Have a great night. I'll see you all of you tomorrow. And yes, thank you so much, Chiro, joining from Germany. That's great, buddy. That's great. That's great. Okay. That's it, guys. Bye bye, everyone. See you tomorrow.